I just feel like I was so lucky. Like it, I don't want it to sound condescending or like to be like, this is how you get to where I am. Like, cause I have friends that are way more talented than I am that don't work. So, um, I was, what helped me when I was out here was the fact that I was kind of, once I decided to go out and give it a go, I was dead set on finding something interesting out here. And obviously, no one believed in me out here, so you kind of have to believe in yourself and work really hard. What helped me was um, I got to a place where I questioned why, the reason I came out here, because at least in Sweden, I got to work on interesting places and stuff, and I came out here. And when you're an unknown out here and you're a 22-year-old boy, like you get like the stuff that you get is not very interesting. It's like the boyfriend in a horror movie that gets killed in the second scene, or like the job. It was just like not interesting stuff. And if there ever was something interesting that you'd be right for and you auditioned for, and then like, oh, this might actually happen, an established actor would come in and just like, thank you, I'll take that. What helped me, and this sounds really pretentious, but was I got to sit in. Got to go to the actor studio, and hang out there. I'm not a member, but I knew a member, so I got to at least partake and play around with scenes and be in a room with people that genuinely cared about the craft, and to be in those rooms with these people after going to like a horrible audition for something I didn't want, kind of gave me a lot of energy and made me feel like, oh yeah, this is what I'm out here for. Like this is like, it can be so much fun. And for me, having that kind of carrot twice a week to be in a room with creative people that are in it because they love it, and where magic is happening, to even sit in the audience and watch that gave me a lot of energy. Sometimes I went into rooms to please my agents. Because I was out here and I hadn't been, auditioning for a couple of weeks, and then they sent me something and I'm like, I don't want to do this. But then I'm like, I can't just sit and turn down everything. I should probably just at least go in and read for it. But as you know, like if you're not excited about it, you're not going to do a very good job. If you don't care, like if you just don't believe in what you're saying. No, but I read the script once a day from when I commit to something till we start, from the first to the last page. And there's no real strategy, or there's just more, by reading it once a day, I feel like things happen and I come up with thoughts and ideas, and I'll discover something, even if it's the 55th time I read the script. There's something I'll discover something or come up with an idea for the character, or an idea for a specific scene, or it could be something more general. And then a lot of those ideas are terrible. And it's usually a shit idea, but you come up with 1,000, and then you find a couple of nuggets in there. But by doing that, at least like something starts a kind of an internal creative process where, and then it's more about filter out those 99% of bad ideas, and then holding on to those ones that you think are actually good for the foundation of the character in a way. So yeah, it's just the way I prepare it, I guess.
You've also said that you like playing characters that have both darkness and light. Why?
Well, because I think we all do that. We all have that. And that's what being a human being is all about. And that dichotomy. And if I don't subscribe to good versus evil. And, when it comes to real human beings, I don't think there's a case of good versus evil. I think we're all capable of good and bad deeds. And what makes good drama is that internal struggle, that internal conflict. And I just don't think it would be fun to play a character that was all evil or all good, because you want to feel that inside, that little struggle. And in this case, this was a character who was, when I first read the script, he's clearly not, it could easily been just a villain, a bad guy, someone preying on this teenager. And that's what got me excited, because I felt like, well, how can I make this interesting, and how can I find something not necessarily likable, but at least like that people can understand and relate to in him, and because then that's what makes it interesting. And I think when I watch movies myself, it's always more interesting if it's complex and a bit complicated, where you're like, I want to like this guy, but why don't I? Or I don't want to like him, but suddenly like I like him in this moment. That's when it becomes real and it gives it life. Without condoning what he does, he's how can I make him real, and how can I make it give it depth? Stuff goes wrong, and that's kind of interesting because you discover things that you might not have had it been too planned or too structured. And again, we didn't rehearse much. We just we got there and we jumped in, and then it's an interesting feeling because after the first take, you're always like, oh, that was interesting. I didn't expect that, or the scene to go in that direction. And it didn't necessarily work every time. Sometimes we felt like something happened and we went somewhere, and then we're like, all right, well, maybe we should try it again and go in a different direction. But it was always exciting because it felt real and alive.
Are you the kind of person who doesn't read reviews either?
Oh yeah, I never do.
You never read reviews,
No.
really? You don't have someone to at least like tell you about the good ones?
No, but I don't want to read those.
Yeah. You want to read anything?
No, because then I think I'll be like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you
I'm
remember
great.
something that they commented on that they thought was great, and
Yeah.
then subconsciously in the next job you'll keep doing that, and it's just It's always kind of weird to watch stuff you're in, especially the first time. Again, like watching myself is lovely. No, but it is. I don't really have a problem with it, but it is very. I feel slightly emotionally detached from it. It was easier for me to get involved and get invested in the other characters and their storylines. Watching my own stuff, it feels it's very technical, and I again dissect it, and I'm like, oh, okay, that was and very critical. I never like it. I'm always like, oh, dude, that was why.
Right.
That's way too big, or you know.